welcome, welcome.
Welcome,
Come on in.
Come on in.
Come on into the car. It's
Come
another
in.
day in the car.
Come
or
into the
another
car
night in
with
the
a kitty
car.
cat. The kitty cat
He's
is
very
here
happy.
tonight.
He's got his little bed right here.
Okay.
He's rather happy about it. And we have been discussing the topics for the show between us for a few hours now. And now it's fairly quiet over where we are. And we'll be able to actually really get into it.
Do I have any moderators in here tonight? We cannot begin without a mod. We need some moderators.
We only have one person in here right now.
Welcome.
Come on in. And yes, we are in the car. So you can
We are in the car.
hear a little bit of traffic. We found a quiet place to be though, so that's good. And the kitty's happy. Yeah. Our critters came with us. We've got them, the rest of them in the RV, and take turns who gets to be in the car with us. And like the other day you saw two of the little dogs, and today one of the cats just had to be with us, and he's a little spot of sunshine, aren't you, sweetie? So he's right here.
We're just setting up still.
Doing his little job. And yeah, we're still setting up for the live, and welcoming you all in here. And if you're new, just know that everyone's welcome, and everyone is welcome to their own opinions. The First Amendment, free speech, that is all well and good here. And the only stifling of free speech is if it's something that our mods deem offensive. And you know, if you're offensive, your remark will be removed and you'll be hidden from the channel.
So we're going to talk about Barry Morphew today.
Yeah, that's the first thing, is Barry Morphew.
We're going to talk about David today.
Yeah, the singer David.
We're going to talk about Lance Twiggs today.
Yes.
This evening, this afternoon, wherever you may be on this planet.
And we'll probably mention Jimmy Kimmel a bit too, because he's like one of my favorite comedians. And I am really upset about him being censored.
Hello, Amber.
And
thank you for moderating again.
And as we've said before, this isn't really a political channel, but
we said we may go a little political.
You know, a lot of times crime gets mixed in with politics, or a lot of times reporters are stifled, and you know, that is a political thing. There is the freedom of speech and freedom of the press, and when the tables get, what is it, tables stacked, or what gets stacked? Whatever, when it gets stacked against people or against the public and their right to know, then we will make it known, and we will speak out on that kind of thing.
Hi, Rainbow.
And one of the things that really gets my goat is when media goes and either doesn't report on something that is newsworthy and ought to be reported on, or when they go and over report something or skew facts, or use their influence to influence others without saying that it's an opinion. And you know, I'll say right now that we report facts, things that you find in the news and whatnot, but we also will tell you our opinion on things.
We are going to be, what are we going to start with? Lance Twiggs today? Or would you like to start with? We're going to get into Barry when we get some more people in here.
Okay, we'll start with Lance Twiggs. We'll move our way on up to Barry. Lance Twiggs is the transsexual furry boyfriend of the alleged assassin of Charlie Kirk. And in this case, I'm saying alleged assassin, not just because innocent until proven guilty, but because I have a bunch of questions about this and whether he worked alone and whether he even is the one who actually did it, or if he's covering for someone else, or just exactly what's going on in this. There's a lot of questions in this case, and I will go ahead and give a shout out to my guilty pleasure channel that talks about a lot of things, and he's quite an outspoken guy, and sometimes I don't agree with him, but I really like the way he brings it. What he brings, he has researched and he has his opinions, and I'm talking about Cinema Shogun. And Cinema Shogun had a video today where he was pointing out the fact that there seems to be some sort of media blockout when it comes to information on Lance Twiggs, and he has rightfully so pointed out that usually when there's been a crime that is newsworthy and is getting a lot of news coverage, there are news vans and reporters camped out on the front lawns of all the players, not just the person accused of the crime, but those closest to them. And there are, fights for interviews and things like that. And there have been no interviews and no reported attempts at interviewing Lance Twiggs. And all that we hear is Lance Twiggs is cooperating. But is he? We don't know. We just, and just exactly what does that mean when someone is cooperating? I seem to recall that a few years back when there was the Orrin and Orson case, the little boys, Orrin and Orson West, Sincere and Classic Pettis, they had been illegally adopted, and then their adoptive parents did away with them, reported them missing, said that they wandered away from the family home. And anyway, it kept being reported that those parents were cooperating with police. Sorry.
No,
so what exactly does cooperating mean? I think cooperating might just mean speaking to.
Oh, he was not cooperating.
So,
The adoptive parents.
So what's your thoughts on Lance Twiggs?
Do you really think there would be... You would think after our president was shot from a rooftop, you would think there would be some sort of safeguards in place where they were actually going to be looking at the rooftops before.
Oh, before the Charlie Kirk assassination.
Don't you think?
Yeah, what's up with the lax security and the ability for someone to get up there and take out Charlie Kirk? And another thing that I was questioning is this whole communication between Tyler Robinson, the alleged shooter, and Lance Twiggs, his transsexual lover, was that Tyler states to Lance that he's hanging out in the area. I mean, he's gotten clean away, except for he's hanging out in the area. He's like across the street or something from where the rifle has been wrapped in a towel and hidden in the woods. And he's saying, well, it's right where I changed my clothes and everything. I was able to, it's okay. If he was able to change his clothes and stash his clothes and all that, why wasn't he able to walk away with the towel around the weapon? And knowing the seriousness of the crime and the target and all that, why would he use his grandfather's rifle? He stated that this was his grandfather's rifle. It's some sort of collective piece, and that any photographs of this weapon would immediately identify it as being his grandpa's rifle, which would go right back at him. But in the messages to Lance Twiggs, he's not saying, oh, somebody's going to recognize that gun if they get it. He says he's worried that his fingerprints are on it. So that doesn't really make any sense to me. If this is such a recognizable weapon, just having it get into the hands of authorities would have identified him as the shooter, because his family would know, hey, Tyler is the one that had Grandpa's gun. So that's a bit strange to me.
Not really, Susie. You know, we just started talking about Lance Twiggs.
Yeah, we started off with that and the fact that these are arguments that were made by Cinema Shogun on his channel, and I think he makes some very good points about that and about the seeming media blockout on the topic of Lance Twiggs. We're not hearing anything much about that, and it does seem very possible that Lance Twiggs was the driving force or motivator behind this crime, and that Lance probably knew more than what people are saying. Like, for instance, if I were to turn sniper, sneak off and assassinate somebody, guarantee hubby here would know. He would be like, hey, she snuck out and the gun's gone. And, you know, it's, how could Lance Twiggs have been totally not knowing what happened? And I know, there's like BTK killer and stuff like that, but those aren't like public assassinations. Those are deep-seated, dark, secret crimes. I mean, a public assassination is a whole different type of crime. So
how could he even got up on the roof anyhow, guys? How could no one have seen that? Why?
Yeah, and I guess they saw some of it. I don't know.
I have seen videos.
They caught him like 30 hours later. Anyway, that's the Lance Twiggs thing, and we still don't have very many people in here, but we'll go ahead and talk because people can catch us on the replay crew. So, from the Lance Twiggs case...
Well, why he... Look.
Let's see, what did you write? Looking at his notes, we both were... Oh, okay. Oh. Hubby is pointing out to me that in the messages between shooter or alleged shooter Tyler Robinson and his lover Lance Twiggs, the trans far left, very noisy, hate spewing, hates Christianity, hates GOP, hates MAGA, hates Charlie, and all that. Lance essentially seems to have been grooming Tyler. Tyler was like a blank canvas. He had, you know, he's a very smart but introverted person, and obviously had some struggles going on with him being gay and a Mormon.
Well, he was gay and a Mormon.
He was a gay and a Mormon, and from a very MAGA family.
And his dad is a cop.
A cop for 27 years. And then he goes to college and he gets together with Lance Twiggs, and the family even mentioned that they noticed that Tyler was getting more and more outspoken about political topics and being anti-MAGA and, you know, disliking Charlie Kirk, and that they said that he was getting more and more vocal and more out there in his beliefs, and it seems to have been a change since he got together with Lance Twiggs. And Cinema Shogun pointed out that there had been some interviews with family members of Lance Twiggs who say that Twiggs, on the other hand, has always been problematic and outspoken and angry, and is very anti-MAGA, extreme leftist, and I mean, like, really extreme.
Wow.
And that he was an unpleasant person and was prone to violence, and was so upsetting to family members that they would like not want him around their kids, or they would just not want to be around him themselves, and would even avoid family gatherings if they knew that Lance was going to be there. And they state that Lance's aggression and
Kitty, you're going outside.
mood swings only seemed to get worse as he got older. I mean, not just older, but as he got further into this transition, and when he started taking hormones and such. So, you know, it's a very real possibility
Kitty
that he's more of a driving force. You know, Kitty was, yeah, and our kiddo picked up the kitty, and Kitty's going back into the RV now.
Kitty was biting.
Kitty was biting. He's a young cat, and he still has some biting stuff. We all of our pets are rescues, and a lot of them have quirks. They're critters that nobody else wanted, and you know, it's so rewarding once they bond with you, and they're, you know, not all of their quirks go away. I'm not gonna, you know, like try to sugarcoat it or anything, but when you adopt a special needs or, you know, unwanted pet, you make that devotion to them, you make that promise to them, and they are your forever.
Oh.
And they know it, and they end up being it's like they just totally appreciate it. So anyway, he went with our son to go into the RV with the other critters and our kiddo while we continued the live, and he stops biting hubby. And
I made a big note.
A big note? Is
A
this
big
one
note.
Twigs are still,
No,
or
we're finished with Twigs. First,
Okay.
You know, what the heck? He was running across the buildings like that. No one happened to see him. Next thing you know, bam, the man got a freaking neck wound. So,
Yeah.
that's what's going on with that.
Okay, Jack.
Okay.
So your next story that you're bringing to us. Oh, it looks like you're going to be talking about Travis Decker.
Oh, Travis Decker. The police are almost certain they have located him, as his pants and his shorts. Actually, he was wearing shorts,
And they were
and his shirt.
They were U.S. Ranger issued Army Rangers.
Those are a match. They found his chewing tobacco as well. They all match Washington State Patrol crime labs. Oh, and today, later on, after they found him, they found some feet and some vertebrae as well in the area.
Ooh.
So a pretty good chance he's all done.
Yeah, and that is about a mile away from where his daughters were found in the campground. The area where these remains were found is a very steep terrain, very difficult to get, and they discovered it because of using drones and looking at the drone footage, and through the drone footage they spotted the t-shirt or shirt that they were mentioning, and that they knew that the shirt was a match for a shirt last seen on Travis Decker in some surveillance footage. And so that's why they went to the area and then discovered the remains. It says that there was because of decomposition, and since there was decomposed material in the clothing, that they are getting DNA tested, but they can tell, of course, that it is human decomposed material in the clothing. And it appears that a lot of people were conjecturing that after Travis Decker took the lives of his little girls, that he might go to Mexico or he might go to Canada, and also that his former wife has been living in fear because there was no, they hadn't been able to figure out where he had gone, and it was entirely possible that with the way he'd been, his psychological makeup, it was entirely possible that he was a family annihilator, not just of his kids, so that his wife had very valid fears that
searchers are all going home. They are that convinced that they have found him.
And the searchers are going home. They're that convinced that they have found him, that these remains are him. And some people are saying that they're not going to believe it until the DNA comes back, though, because they wouldn't put past him to have unalived someone else and put them with his clothing.
Chelan County is still going to continue investigating, because this could still be a homicide of Travis.
Yes,
so they're going to keep looking into that.
There was no firearm found near him, and they won't conjecture. They won't speak on whether it looked like he'd been camping there a while or whether it looks like foul play. That is part of the ongoing investigation. But now I'm going to go and put in my 2 cents worth, my thoughts on this. And the first thing being, oh dear,
who would do this? Okay. Why not? Stop it.
Oh dear.
What the heck?
How do we?
I don't
know. Maybe mute?
I don't know, guys.
Reconnecting. Oh, and then we're back live again. So by doing that, we went we went not live. When you touch the buttons, it ended our live.
Well.
And now I don't see any camera. You got to turn the camera around or something. Let's see what's happening.
Well,
let's see. Can we?
You can see us. That's
okay,
nice.
You can see us. Okay, good.
Because we can't see us.
Yeah, we can't see us. We've got just a black screen in front of us now.
How weird.
Anyway,
we're new to doing lives on the phone.
Yeah. So, where did I leave off?
I
was gonna say.
Thank you, guys.
What I thought was that, first off, the way that Travis Decker took the lives of his sweet little girls was unthinkable. He put plastic bags over their heads and used zip ties or tie wraps, whatever you want to call those, to fasten them to their necks and keep those bags on them so they suffocated. And so I would not be surprised if it turns out that he took his own life, and that would be the way that he would have done it. That, because it's like impossible to undo zip ties once you've tightened them. So if he put bags on his own head and pulled the zip ties tight, he wouldn't be able to get himself out of it.
Poor little girl, son.
And but there could have been other ways. And I'm also thinking that he probably wasn't camped there very long before he ended up dead, by whatever means he ended up dead, because of the fact that they said that his chewing tobacco tin was in his shorts, and it was the tobacco brand that he chews. And I'm thinking that if he was there a long time, that he probably would have run out of chewing tobacco.
Yeah, you definitely. Those guys that are on tobacco, they have to have tobacco every day.
So, that's my guesses on it, and we'll see when the actual reports come back, whether I'm whether my conjecturing or my guesses or whatever, whether what I think happened is in the ballpark of what actually happened.
We are talking about Travis Decker.
And do we have any more?
Yes, we have
Decker?
David.
No, about Travis Decker.
No, they have found him. Well, they believe they have found him based upon the shorts, the tobacco, and the shirt. And that fact that they're all going home now and they're not searching anymore.
And it's in a remote area of, is it Chelan?
Yes, Chelan County.
Chelan County,
just up
Washington.
off Highway 2, up near Leavenworth, if you guys have been there.
Beautiful country there. And also, yes, there is very steep and rocky terrain. And so much underbrush and ferns and, it's beautiful. I love it.
It's like
so life.
It's like the original. It's Rocky First Blood. Remember? Did you guys watch
Not
that
Rocky
from way
First Blood? Rambo First Blood.
Rambo. Same guy.
Yeah, same guy. He likes to meld the movies.
Remember how steep that was? This is what I'm picturing this. Just like. Okay. Let's finish up with David D4 VD.
Yes, the singer. We actually went and looked him up now, and now we know that he's got a pretty singing voice.
Yes, he does.
And he has had his entire U.S. leg of his concert tour canceled during the investigation into what did they find? Are you gonna tell?
No, you're going to tell. They found this poor little teenager girl stuffed inside of a Tesla.
Yeah, a 15-year-old girl named Celeste, who it also appears that David had a song called Celeste that he did not release, but it has been leaked out, and that was in 2023. And it appears to be about this little girl, and so he appears to be a pedo or P3DO, because this guy is 20 years old and this little girl is 15 or was 15, and she's deceased now. She was found dismembered in a bag in the trunk of this guy's Tesla and just parked outside of his house and then moved around in the Hollywood Hills, just dumped. This car was just dumped and it stood out to the neighbors. They said that it was a Tesla with Texas plates and a big dent on it, and that it just had been parked in a couple different places, but they knew that it had been abandoned. And so eventually it was called in, brought to the impound yard, and then it had a smell. And so cops finally, after it was in the impound yard a few days, popped the trunk and found the badly decomposed remains.
The little girl and the singer both had the tattoo on their finger
that says shh on their index fingers. And it turns out that this little girl has been infatuated with this singer for a long time, and that when she was 13 years old, she ran away from her Lake Elsinore home and went to Hollywood Hills and was with this David guy.
That is a long ways.
And then was found by the police and returned to her parents in Lake Elsinore. And then, she took off again at age 15 last year and was never seen again. And police are trying to piece together her last days, figure out when she may have lost her life. And of course, it's going to take quite a lot of work on the part of the forensics team to determine her cause of death. But obviously there is a crime involved in this, because the girl has been
There's definitely a crime
deceased,
involved.
Dismembered, put in a bag, stashed in the trunk of a Tesla. Right now, the singer David is still not charged with anything, but he is being investigated. The whole house has been investigated. They seized the laptop and some other things.
What about the song "I Love You So Much"?
Yeah. He said, I love you so much in his song about Celeste, and also his song about romantic homicide. So, it's going to be interesting to see whether his art, had something to do with
I can see
his
how a
real
little
life
girl
actions.
would like to listen to him sing, like, apparently.
Yeah, he does have a pretty voice. And anyway, his European tour dates are still posted. They're still up, but there's no way of knowing yet whether he is going to be free to leave the country in a month or so when the European tour dates start. And
I believe that's it for
that's it
that.
for all of our
David,
that's it for all of our non-Barry Morphew
B4D
stuff.
Barry.
Barry Morphew.
And Crazy Carl. Did Crazy Carl die? We cannot find much information on this.
So does anybody know whether there's any articles or anything, or are we going to need to go boots somewhere to find more information on this Crazy Carl Colby? And some of the digging around that we did find on Carl is that he has worked as a ranch hand. He has worked as like a landscaper's assistant and such. And then I've dug up some hearsay, secondhand information claiming that Carl may have been one of the people that have been employed, at least in the past, by Barry Morphew. And
Barry Morphew supporters besides his daughters. This has just got to be something that the lawyers are floating in around there.
Or it's one of those seven, it could be those 7 women that were in court during his bond hearing that we watched. There were 7 women. I couldn't figure out who 5 of them were. 2 of them were his daughters, but there were 5 other women in the seats behind Barry, and there was one bald man.
Crazy Carl is on the witness list.
And Crazy Carl Colby, is on the witness list in the Morphew case. He had a trailer on property near where Suzanne's remains were found in the shallow grave. And also, Crazy Carl, is the boyfriend of Edna Quintana, who went missing, and her remains were found in a remote area. But she was last seen alive with Carl, and Carl Colby told a story that didn't make any sense. It changed several times.
No.
But he said that he and Edna were like rock hounding, and then they got separated, that she decided she wanted to go back to the car and he wanted to stay out. And then when he got back to the car, she wasn't there, but her purse was in the car, and he just never saw her again. Well, her remains eventually were found in a remote area near where they were supposedly rock hounding. But authorities were searching that area near Carl's trailer, actually looking for Edna. And when they were looking for Edna, they found Suzanne.
How far away from the trailer was that, do you think?
Within an acre.
Wow, that's not very much.
No, it's basically, it might even be on the same property, just kind of like on the edge of the property. It was not very far from his trailer. His trailer was not always there. His trailer wasn't there in 2020 when Suzanne disappeared, but that's not saying much, because we know that Suzanne was killed elsewhere, and that Suzanne's body was kept elsewhere and then moved to the location near Carl's trailer where her remains were found.
Did he own that land, Carl? Was that his property?
I don't believe so. I think that it is BLM land, and that he's just squatting out there.
BLM
But
land.
I'll have to go back to the assessor's office and check that out to verify whether or not he owned that. So I can't really speak on that for
Yeah,
sure.
BLM land, you're allowed to camp out there for like 28 days, possibly.
Yeah, and then you only have to move 5 miles before you can go back and camp out there again. And as a lot of the free spirits that I've encountered in my lifetime state, that you have 28 days from the first encounter with the Bureau of Land Management, because they had no way of knowing how long you were there before, so they give you 28 days from when they encounter you. So there are some people who stay quite a bit longer. And with all the cuts in the budget and such, it's probably even more that way. And then of course there's other things to get around it, like if you get mineral rights, or some sort of claim, whether for gem hunting or gold or silver mining or anything like that, you can file these claims with the Bureau of Land Management. You don't own the land, but you're allowed to stay there as long as you are working it for these purposes. So anyway, that's a little bit off topic. So Barry made bail, and there's lots of talk that Carl Colby is deceased. I haven't found the information yet. I would love to look into it and
where was Suzanne
find out.
Found? Was she found on BLM land?
I believe it was BLM land. It was near private property, but it was on BLM land and near Highway 17 out there in Saguache County. And I know that some channels, news channels actually, have been wrongly saying that she was found in Alamosa County. Alamosa County is where the trial is going to take place, because it's part of the 12th Judicial, and it's better equipped to handle a trial and all that than Saguache County. But Saguache County is where her remains were actually found. And I noticed also that certain news agencies are making a big deal out of where Suzanne's remains were found, or 50 miles away from her home and that kind of thing. But the thing is, once you live remote or live in the backcountry or are an outdoors person, 50 miles is not really that far for hunting purposes or for camping or fishing or whatever. That's not really a problem, and probably was well within Barry's range of, or what do they call it, fund of knowledge or whatever, areas that he's probably got experience with, especially since he does have associates in the area, and there is good elk hunting in the area, and you know how he is with his hunting. So he's probably quite familiar with the area. So you can say over and over again till you're blue in the face, oh, but it was 50 miles away from the house. It doesn't mean anything.
It doesn't mean
miles away from the house.
He'd probably have been there.
Yeah. And also he had plenty of time to move her there, because as we were mentioning earlier, when we were talking about the Travis Decker case and how they had found the clothing that Travis Decker had last been seen wearing, and that there was decomposed material in the clothing, and Travis Decker, well, I won't get into Travis Decker, but just explain to you that there was decomposed material in his clothing, which was, decomposed human material. And in the case of Suzanne Morphew, clothing was found with her remains, but there was no decomposed material on that clothing. So the clothing was placed there to try to make a narrative of her being out on a bike ride. She was, her crested butte sweatshirt was there, and some of her clothing was there, but there was no decomposed material on any of the clothing, not even the bra. And so she was not in that clothing when she decomposed. Whether she was clothed when she decomposed or not, we there's no way of knowing. But the clothing that was found with her is not what she had on when she was decomposing, if she was wearing anything when she was decomposing.
Yes, hit that like button.
And also the fact that there was no hair clumps, and no hair of any kind in that grave or with those remains.
That's weird.
That's another thing that tells you that her bones were what was buried there, not her body per se. This was her bones, her skeleton was buried there, along with that clothing that was put there to give the narrative that, but it doesn't fit. It doesn't fit at all, because of the mistakes in, for instance, no decomposition on, leached onto the clothing, and no bug casings, because
yes, we are the Suzanne channel.
So there's a lot of things that definitely prove that Suzanne did not die there in Saywatch, and she was not buried there while intact. She did not decompose there.
This is really creepy that they moved this poor lady.
Yeah, and that they let her go to.
What do you guys think about her being moved like that?
She went to full decomp someplace else, and there was no sign of any scavenger activity on her bones either. So wherever her remains were, they were kept in such a manner that
remember, I thought she was stored in water.
Yeah, there was no a sign of rodents getting at her, and they didn't find bug activity or anything like that. And my bae is saying that he was wondering whether she had been stored in water. Water would speed decomposition for one thing, and also we did a story a while back on the toy box killer, and he actually disposed of a few different people in that manner. He was I forgot if he was a game warden or what he was, but so he had access to a remote area where there was water, and he wrapped the remains of his victims in chicken wire and weighted them down and dumped them in the water near a dam, so that they would just decompose completely there. And then once small enough, I guess would be one way to say it without being too gross, they would just become part of the lake bed. So, and hubby was pointing out that if she was kept in water, that Barry had the equipment and such that he could retrieve it later. And I don't know whether the bones indicate anything like that.
Wow.
But also with Barry's skill as a hunter, and the fact that he knows how to bleach bones, he knows how to take for instance an elk head and put it out and have it become just the skull and antlers for a trophy mount. He knows how to do that. He would know how to do the same with a human being.
That's a human. Who could handle a human like that?
A sick person like Barry.
I mean, handling a deer is one thing, but a human, dude.
He did not see
Even
Suzanne
as
a
true
human.
crime creators, man, some of this stuff just bothers me. How could somebody
And,
like Ed Gein be wearing people's skin? Right?
Yeah. Just some of the stuff that people do is just so disgusting. But you can also see how it could be, we've had several different professions and such over the years. And, if you've worked in the field of, dressing out animals or fish or anything like that, you learn how it's done. And then you also become numb to it with animals. So it's easy to understand how these hunters who turn killers of humans, how easy it probably is for them to turn off, if they ever had the
what about the
empathy or anything.
What about the 2 pig farmer stories? Were those guys kept pigs?
Yeah, because pigs will
Susan Monica comes to mind, guys.
Susan Monica and Robert Pickton are 2 people that used pigs to dispose of their victims.
Susan Monica was actually a transgender.
Yeah.
She was a man.
She wasn't a man anymore. She had the surgery.
Anyways,
But she had been in the Navy before she.
Oh, we have a story on her. You should go watch that. It's a good video.
But, Barry is a true crime fan, and it's, I'm very glad that it turned out he did not feed Suzanne to pigs or anything like that, because apparently he did talk to Morgan Gentile, I forgot how to say her name. She got mad at me once. But he told Morgan about how pigs could dispose of a body. And
there was multiple up in Canada. 50 women that guy took out and fed them to his pigs.
Yeah.
50. Or was it 49 and he was upset because he didn't make it to 50?
Because he didn't make it to 50.
We're going to do a story on that guy. There you go. Give me this. Careful with the light.
And he came to a...
They can see us, but we can't see the camera.
Graphic end that, it was prison justice, and that's one of the things that...
Robert Pickton.
I get improper joy out of. Is
we can't show too much excitement about his prison justice. We just have to talk all monotone about that because YouTube, it's against the terms.
I got an angry letter from YouTube saying I was taking entirely too much glee in the demise of Robert Pickton.
Another prisoner decided that this guy was bad, so he got a toothbrush put through his
broom handle.
It was a broom handle.
Sharpened broom handle.
Yeah, a sharpened broom handle through the nose and into the head, and also there was a toothbrush, and that was in the throat. So anyway, that's some of that.
Yeah, we have a black screen. It's really weird. I got a call.
But you guys can see us?
Yeah, they can see us just fine.
Huh.
They said so a long ways back. So we got a phone call on Messenger, and it blanked out my screen somehow. I don't know.
What happened to the 2 elk hunters? No idea.
Yeah, we don't know.
Do tell, son.
What did you learn?
Well, they both went out there and they were armed.
Yep, they had guns for hunting.
They should have had lighters and fire. And they shouldn't have gotten cold. It hasn't been all that cold here.
Frozen in Colorado.
So that's got to be foul play as well. We're gonna look.
They went hunting in San Juan National Forest, but they were seen alive on September 11th on a trail cam. And they were missing on Saturday, which is the 13th. and they were found dead later.
Yeah, I'm gonna be watching that to find out what happened in that case. I'm curious as to the relationship of these two men.
So they are from North Carolina?
And
one of them was, it says.
Maybe they got some kind of altitude sickness and had trouble.
Oh, altitude sickness could be a problem.
It's not lethal though.
No, but you can get completely lightheaded and cause a bunch of
Disoriented,
problems.
fall, and and do stupid stuff.
Because it was, how high up was that? Do you think, like
They're probably around
9,000?
7,500 feet.
Yeah, in North Carolina, it's got to be pretty low.
Aren't they at like the bottom of the Appalachians?
I'm not sure.
I think they're at like 1,000 feet.
And I'm thinking though, yeah, and I was gonna say, and I'm thinking that the mountain ranges back east are not anything compared to the mountain ranges here, and but that's another thing that segues back to Suzanne, and that's one of the things that we thought when we heard that a woman from Indiana had gone on a bike ride and not returned, and she was missing. And so we went out there with our rescue gear, blankets and water and everything, thinking, oh man, this is a lowlander, went and got altitude sickness, and they're out there sick as hell off the side of the trail or something, or maybe they fell off the trail. But we were thinking that this was a medical emergency, that somebody had misjudged, because a lot of people come here and don't factor in the altitude change and what it does to your body.
The Blue Ridge, check it out.
Blue Ridge.
Blue Ridge Mountains. Check the altitude on that. Oh, yeah.
I think the peak is around 6,000 feet.
That's pretty high.
The peaks are. The peaks here are
peaks.
14ers.
Yeah, we have 14ers. And, and around here, the 6,000 foot level is like the valley floor.
6,000 foot level is Interstate 25, which is where everybody lives.
Yeah. So,
that's considered flat around here, around Denver.
It's kind of hilly.
Yeah, that's low.
That's around 5,200 feet. Denver is.
How about the Blue Ridge? What are they? They're talking
on
about
average.
Their highest peak is 6,600.
Oh, so it's entirely possible those guys got altitude sickness, and
because it only takes 2,000 or 3,000 feet to get sick.
Been disoriented. That could have caused them to make some lethal mistakes.
I know we feel that if we go from 6,000 feet, if we go up to like 12,000 feet, we'll feel that.
Their average elevation is 3,000. Blue Ridge.
Okay, well now we know. And what about Barry? Barry's out on bail, everybody. Oh.
And I am just hoping that people will be doing some berry spotting, and
it only took what, $300,000
in the wild. And does anybody know what the fee is on that? Because I'm pretty sure that the 300,000 isn't all going to be absorbed, but there's a fee involved as well. They have to come up with the $300,000 in collateral or whatever to sign over to the bail bondsman, for the bail bondsman to post the $3 million. But also there's a fee, and they get the 300,000 back minus the fee, or they paid 300,000 plus a fee. But anyway, the fee stays with the bail bondsman no matter what. Whether you go to trial and are found innocent and you get your bail bond money back, but you don't get the fee back. And I'm just wondering how much of a fee it was for them. And
earlier today in the live stream, someone said that they posted $500 bail in Colorado and got 300 back.
Oh, that's a fat fee.
That is.
That's like 40%.
So I wonder how much Barry's supporters are going to get back if Barry goes to trial.
10%, Maui Swift says. I think that's kind of low.
Probably around 30.
All I know is that when we
I'll be checking the site and seeing.
I believe the
whether
county
there's
said there will
paperwork that
be
we can
no
see.
more information put out on this, remember?
Yeah, they're not releasing any more information, but we can see if that is public record or not.
I'm sure some of our
Through the
viewers, some of our subscribers will probably check
Uh,
this out and let us know, I hope.
Are we gonna talk about my area of expertise?
What do you want
Okay.
to talk about? Well, anything else about Suzanne in Barry Morphew right now?
Before we
And
segue
Crazy
into,
Carl and the witness list.
before we segue into
anything we should know?
our son's area of expertise, which seems to be in the news a lot lately.
It's in the news right before something even more crazy happens, coincidentally.
Yes.
About maybe a list or something. I don't know.
Oh,
Yeah.
that silly list.
Oh wait,
That
I think
silly
it's.
list.
I don't think the list is real, but I also kind of think Obama wrote it. Not sure. That's what I heard.
Yeah, freaking Trump.
I heard it was fake, but Obama wrote it.
And there's nothing interesting on it either. It doesn't exist, but there's nothing interesting to see.
He said it has a lot of fake stuff with me in it.
Yeah. And
A lot of fake stuff.
a lot of fake
I hear
stuff.
he went to the UK.
Oh yeah, Prince Andrew is involved.
Yes, we got interesting thing about that. There's a lot of arguing going on about releasing the files. The files aren't being released, blah 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 blah. Meanwhile, Trump goes to the UK on a visit, and Prince Andrew happens to live in the UK, and Prince Andrew also happens to be on the list and happens to have paid out one of the underage females that
I think it
involved.
I think it was £3 million.
And this is
Yeah.
what Jimmy Kimmel got in trouble for,
And
talking
then-
about this.
No, he got in trouble
talking
for-
about Charlie Kirk and Trump and stuff.
And that is one of the things that ticks me off, is that Jimmy Kimmel is being silenced. They're saying that they're wanting him to make apologies, this and that and the other thing. And and so not allowing him to air these oligarchs, these powers that be with the money, the advertisers and stuff, they have the clout to say what the people of America can watch on television, saying, oh, you can't see Jimmy Kimmel because we object to what he has to say.
Oh,
and then
the Donald, he does not like him.
and Donald
one
Trump
bit.
doesn't like Jimmy Kimmel, and he's like saying that he's glad that Jimmy Kimmel got taken off. And then he's saying that he hopes that a couple of different other performers also get pulled off the air. And it's like, this is sounding an awful lot like stifling freedom of expression, freedom of speech, freedom of the press. This sounds an awful lot like not allowing people to speak their mind, and not allowing the people of this country to decide whether they want to watch Jimmy Kimmel or not. I mean, if you don't like him, you can turn the channel. A lot of people do like him, and it's just insane that the government and the money behind the government are able to say, you know what, you can't see this because we don't like what he has to say.
It was rather tame, actually.
Jimmy Kimmel, yeah.
He really didn't say anything, to be honest.
Yeah, and he's just funny. And
Jimmy Kimmel,
Jimmy Kimmel.
He's really quite talented with the speech. Man.
Oh, he speaks so well.
Yes,
and,
he does.
He just can really, his monologues rock. And anyway, it's just crazy how we are being spoon-fed the news pretty much. We're being told what we're allowed to know, and it seems like whenever something touchy happens and gets reported on briefly, all of a sudden there's other scandals and things that pop up there to distract.
That's like the Reed guy
Yeah.
in Mississippi.
Yeah, just like the case of the young man that was found hanging from a tree on the campus at Delta University in Mississippi. And I don't know if we're ever going to get the full story behind that, because I think that story was also used to take the focus off of other stories, but also it's a story in itself, and then people are saying, oh, this is a non-story, and brushing it under the rug just in case there was something untoward in his story. And I think that even if he did take his own life, even if he did lynch himself, that would, for him to have lynched himself, he had to have been in some very great distress. And college campuses are supposed to have counseling services and help in place so that a student doesn't get to the point where they take their own life. And also, it just does not seem right to me that whether he put his family as his emergency contacts or not.
If we could get his cousin to come on here, he has a TikTok.
Yeah, you would think that the family would have also been informed, at least as a formality or a nicety or something, but they were not. And then for the family to get false information also, and I don't know whether it was the police department that told the family that he was found, his grandfather was told that he was found deceased in his dorm room, and that it was a definite suicide. And I probably shouldn't have said that word, but it's buried.
Well, it's too late now.
But then it turns out that the police were misinformed or something and passed on that information to the grandfather, where the kid was definitely found outdoors hanging from a tree near the pickleball court, found by a member of the faculty, and that at that point in time it was not supposed to have been determined one way or another, because there had not been a forensic investigation or anything. So, no matter what's going on in that case, there is something wrong that needs to be taken care of. There needs to be
I didn't see anything in the news about that guy today.
Right.
It's already hushed.
It's already hushed, and so is the hanging of the other man that was found. I forget how far away that is. 100 miles away in Vicksburg?
Somewhere around there.
Vicksburg.
Near a casino, and he was also found hanging outside. And while the two cases are very unlikely to be related to each other, it's just really crazy to me that two young men were hung within the same week. And
high up, I believe.
Yeah.
The comment.
But two people, same day, same state.
Yeah.
100 miles apart.
And it's just, yeah.
100 miles is only
that's a
an hour and a half
conspiracy.
of driving.
Yeah. Not too far.
So anyways.
And yeah, that's.
What else do you guys want to talk about?
I wanted to talk about Epstein.
What do you know about Epstein? We'll go drop
I don't know
it.
where to start.
Start at the beginning.
The beginning.
Start at anything.
The beginning would be Robert Maxwell, Ghislaine Maxwell's father. He pretty much Well, his name was not always Robert Maxwell either. He was born in I don't know what the country was now, but now it's Czechia. It was like Czech Republic, Czechoslovakia. And then he moved to the UK and picked the most generic, like British person name ever, Robert Maxwell. And he had some ties with the country that starts with I that you're not allowed to stay on YouTube.
Oh, don't say it then. Now remember, after she went and visited with Trump, now she gets a special prison cell.
We're still talking about Robert Maxwell.
Her dad.
Mm-hmm.
Her father, Robert Maxwell, he did like a lot of pretty much the same stuff that Jeff did. He was in all sorts of transporting goods, as in people.
Humans.
And in the 90s, don't remember the year, he actually somehow on his yacht in the Canary Islands fell off the boat.
And he mysteriously drowned.
Yeah.
And so that's a
James
mysterious
Craig,
thing.
the dentist in Colorado. What was that dentist in Colorado?
I believe that's, yeah, and he was poisoning his wife at home. She ended up in the hospital, and because he's a respected dentist, he was allowed to see her in her hospital room and bring her shakes or whatever, and he continued to poison her until she was dead.
Butthole. Serious.
That's your anus.
Brought her milkshakes in her
Aurora.
hospital bed. We didn't cover that story.
Yeah, we didn't cover it. We should have, but we didn't.
So much other stuff going on.
Yeah.
And then we get to Ghislaine Maxwell, who, Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell were kind of like together, but not really, like
She a side piece or something?
friends with benefits, I guess.
Okay.
There's videos of them like smooching,
Okay.
but they weren't like officially a thing. And what?
But she would go to like schools,
High schools,
and talk to teenage girls and get them to trust her
She'd
and
go in a
go to Epstein
limo,
with her. Yeah.
and she has a British accent, by the way. A side piece with power.
Yeah.
But she'd use her British accent on these like freshmen in high school to get them in the limo, and then eventually somehow got them to Little St. James Island.
Oh my goodness.
We don't know it is Little St. James Island. We know it is Epstein
Epstein
Island.
And yeah, and then all these rich and powerful people were there, and all these rich and powerful people don't want anybody to know what went on there because they're rich and powerful, and so they're above the law and they can hide everything from us, and that's not right, especially since a lot of them are politicians or have political influence, and we ought to know what kind of pervs are being allowed to run the country and speak for us. That's just, yeah.
Epstein Jeffrey had some strange decor on his island too.
Oh, do tell.
Well, the most famous one, you can Google it. It takes like 5 seconds. It's an oil painting of Bill Clinton wearing a blue dress. The blue dress.
Yeah, the blue
Bill.
dress, the famous blue dress that belonged to Monica Lewinsky, that what helped be that stuff. And Bill Clinton, that's another thing that ticks me off, because he was supposed to be like
Freaky.
Yeah, of course he was freaky.
Did you see him on Family Guy?
He's supposed to be like this
That's him in
down,
real life.
Yeah.
down home normal type person, but he totally wasn't. And here he's all like thinking that he can outsmart everyone by when he was being questioned about Monica Lewinsky. Remember what he said back then, guys?
I remember.
Not with
He's
that
like-
woman.
Yeah, he's like, I did not have with
Blank.
that woman. And it's like, well, but which woman are you talking about that you did not? You know, who did you? You know. And then he's like, also, when they're asking about whether he had relations, he's all like, what's your definition of relations? And it's like, what the fuck? Did you or did you not? You know, and it's like, and you're the president of the United States, and you've got that kind of, you know, you're supposed to be living up to a higher standard.
Yes, Bill.
And he was not. And I think that Epstein
Red
must have known.
heels. Oh yeah, I think he was wearing heels in the oil.
Yes,
painting.
Really?
Yeah.
Pull it up. Let's show
And,
it.
you
Pull
know,
up that
and I
image.
think that Epstein must have more
Let's get
or
some
must have
likes
had
up in
more
here.
on him, because why else would he be allowed to have such a painting and keep it in
Because like
a,
it's
a
not like it was
prominent place?
it's not like it was not with Bill's permission, because
I mean, because obviously Bill gave permission, and why would Bill give permission for this?
oh, I found the painting.
Let me see it. Hold it up to the.
It's freaky.
Hold it up to the camera and let it. Oh, dude. Let's let this thing focus on this.
Since it's a black screen, I don't know if you can see it right, but freaky
We're
stuff.
trying, but you know, Google it, you'll find it.
I hope you guys can see. It's pretty funny.
And then
If you swamp the camera
No.
view,
You can try to
Back and
put the
forth.
camera back on it. Oh, what's going on with the camera here? I
that
don't
did
know.
not work.
did we make ourselves disappear now?
No.
Can they see us?
There he was in the blue dress and heels.
Yeah, Bill. I've never seen that picture all these years later.
And
It just got released, dude.
When did it get released?
and
A few
it's,
weeks ago.
Oh, wow.
and you know, there, I was noticing when my son was talking about this that the Maxwell guy, he's from Czechia or whatever,
Czechia.
and I believe that Ivana Trump was from Czechia. I could be wrong, but
That's weird.
but Trump's first imported wife,
Hi, Karen.
and
We have a black screen we're talking to. Oh,
Oh,
the
the
cat
red
did
light
that.
died.
Put the kitty cat,
Cat.
out there.
kitty cat.
Kitty
That
cat.
cat
Pass
is
him over here.
despicable.
Pass him over here.
No, he's
No?
evil.
He's
Put
evil.
the kitty
You're
out.
gonna put him over there.
He has ulterior motives.
Wow. Cat did that, guys. You can see us now, huh? All right. Hit a number 1 if you can see us.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy, you guys. We're talking at a black screen on our phone.
Yep.
Okay, they can see us.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you,
Um,
Amber.
It
Butterfly.
is so,
Susie.
It is so crazy for us.
Barry.
Let's
Are
see.
you guys a little nervous that he got released?
I wanted to talk even more about Epstein.
Jump right in there, son. You go ahead.
All right. During his first incarceration back in I think it was 2009, but this is just off the top of my head. He was allowed to leave the prison for 10 hours no wait, it was something like 14 hours a day, 6 days a week
Wow.
for
He was
work.
just walk out and
Just go out, go to work, go back and take a
Of
nap
course,
in the
he
prison.
doesn't have a job with hours. His job title was financier. His actual job was being freaky.
yeah.
Just on work release.
Yeah.
How long did he do that? do you think?
I don't
year?
remember. It was like a year.
That's pretty good. Pretty good prison sentence. So
And it
no
could be.
sentence at all.
And of course, he's in a whole different financial set than Barry Morphew. But Barry Morphew is probably going to get some kind of sweet deal like that too, in that while he's essentially supposed to be on house arrest and only allowed, wearing a GPS monitor and only allowed to leave to go to legal appointments and medical appointments, he's also allowed to leave for work if he gets a job offer. And he's that landscaper guy, and he could be, oh, I got a job over here, I got a job over there. And
what if he gets a job in Broomfield? That's way the heck up there.
And look how he doesn't even.
That's 200 miles from Salida.
Yeah, and look how he works. He milks his hours and whatnot. When he was making his alibi for the morning of the day Suzanne was reported missing, he's like, oh, I'm gonna go to work in Broomfield. And then his only work was he went to the job site for like 15 minutes.
I don't know how to turn the camera back on.
But that's,
What if I press that button? What's that do?
I think it takes a short and puts it on YouTube.
Oh.
So anyway, that's one thing that does bother me, is just the amount of freedom that Barry is going to be afforded. I want him to be stuck in the house somewhere and not able to be gallivanting around.
I don't know if there's any British people in the live stream.
Thank you, Susie.
There's only a few people. But
we don't have very many people in here.
The British are involved with Epstein and Ghislaine.
We do have British viewers.
Because there is a picture of Ghislaine on the throne.
What the heck?
Wow. What the heck?
You need to show that again. Put that back up in there. Be patient with it. Slow. It's got to focus.
Ghislaine Maxwell sitting on the throne.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't think they let just anybody sit up there.
Only their friends.
And, another thing that...
It's Kevin Spacey and Ghislaine Maxwell.
Ooh.
Really?
Didn't Kevin Spacey end up getting in a lot of trouble for putting the moves on a straight young man?
Hey, let me see. Pull that picture.
Did not want him putting the moves
Kevin
on
Spacey?
him.
Yeah, let me see it.
I gotta find it again.
And yeah.
There.
Let's try this. Okay. I'm gonna move it around. Kevin Spacey. What the heck?
Nope. I see a white screen.
Well, that doesn't work so well. Let's not
white
try it.
Screen. I think we need to turn the brightness down. Is that working?
Nope.
Oh man.
Stick with us. We'll get this. We'll get this YouTube thing figured out.
Or maybe we'll get some stills of some of these pictures and put them in the
What about all the way back
in
here?
the post and is it comments? What it is, community comments or whatever. We can put it over there to show the pictures that we're talking about.
I was showing pictures the other day on the phone. Maybe next time I'll turn off my messenger. Oh, good. That was better.
It was better. Yay. Oh, well, that's weird. Is that now?
Yep. I got my phone looking at it. Oh, that was white screen.
Oh, wow. Yeah. That's crazy. Okay, looking at my son's phone, I can see that you guys can see us, and it's just really weird.
Oh, that actually sort of turned out, but it was too bright again.
Well. Joel?
Anyway.
I'll turn the brightness down even more.
No, that's...
No, I gotta get this in there. And let it focus.
Dude, I can't even see that at all.
It's laying on the throne.
Tell us about.
Hmm.
Hey, that works.
Just
She
gotta
says.
turn the brightness down a whole
Thank you,
lot.
guys.
Yeah. So anyway,
Let's tell a story about.
that's the all of us in the car.
Let's tell about when Barry looking for the bicycle helmet in the dumpster.
Where's the bike?
Oh, that was day one. Where's the
Uh,
bike?
Where's the
Yeah.
bike and not where's my wife?
Yeah.
Why would he roll up there and go?
Personally, I'd
"Where's
be
the
looking for
bike?"
my wife.
Mhm.
I don't know about you guys.
Yeah.
Rolls up there, what, 10 o'clock at night?
I think it was earlier than that, but still.
It was dark.
It was dark, and he's like, "Where's the bike? Oh, I missed my bike so much." Yeah.
You know, anyone could have rolled by there and took that bike.
Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah. That's,
Go.
You see $1,000 bike. I got the Kevin Spacey. Kevin Spacey picture. Did it work?
And then the
Oh, it
police
sorta
put in their
turned
hands
out.
all over the bicycle that day.
and then we also see Barry and George putting their hands all over the bicycle that day as well. And then Barry complained to Tyson about police having. And how does Barry know the police had their hands all over the bicycle at that point, by the way?
I don't know, but he went on saying the police already messed it up. They put their
Yeah.
hands all over the bike when
Yeah, the police messed it up.
that's what he told Tyson Draper that day.
Yeah, and he told Tyson, and that was quite some time after the matter, but then he tells Tyson that he thought a lion got her, and
Hey, do you
she would've
think
dragged her
Barry-
up the hill?
Do you think Barry's gonna go visit Tyson Draper? Tyson? Do you think?
And I think that Tyson's probably pretty nervous now that Barry's loose, because Barry is going to be very upset with Tyson for Tyson having gotten everything that he did off of Barry. I don't know for sure. It almost seemed like maybe Tyson had met Barry before and kind of set up that original interview, but he didn't know what all Barry was going to say, and it was very real and quite obvious, though, that in the course of listening to Barry, that Tyson realized that Barry must have killed his wife or done something bad to his wife, and Tyson was obviously very suspicious of Barry and very uncomfortable, and then Barry threatened him
That was
at the end.
That was very Mayberry-like, wasn't it? Amber?
Well, more Epstein is Ghislaine and Epstein. There's a lot of pictures of them that look very like they're like married. Like this picture might focus and it might turn out, but I don't know. They're at like a cabin or something.
And didn't Trump meet Melania at an Epstein party also?
I don't know.
And I think
Oh, if you are a news person, blah, blah. Yeah, I remember that. Direct threat.
and I'm pretty sure that Trump and
That's
Melania
right, Tyson.
hooked up on,
You're in some trouble now. Barry's loose. I wonder
Yeah.
what he'll do now. Tyson,
Yeah.
come on.
Yeah.
Key up the
hopefully-
mic. I know
hopefully
you're there.
Tyson doesn't get into any accidents either. I know that he doesn't have it in his mind either to have a plan or have any accidents going on.
So if anything happens to us
Or Tyson.
or Tyson Draper,
Anybody else that's been speaking out, which, yeah, I forgot to give a shout out to that other guy.
It actually worked.
I watched a show by JLR Investigates, and he's spot on about it too. he shares his opinion of this and of Barry getting bail, and he also believes that it is ridiculous that this wife murderer is out on bail, and and of course he's got the same opinion I do, that this is a wife murderer that has been allowed out on bond.
Only in Colorado, though.
And it's just
can this sort of thing happen, apparently.
Ridiculous.
When they asked Prince Andrew about Epstein, he
Mount
said,
Airy.
I was at a Pizza Express in Woking that particular day, whatever, many years ago. That's a weird defense, isn't it? If you're asked where you were 5 years ago on a random date, you're like, I think I was at a Pizza Express in Woking.
Man.
Why do you remember that, they ask? He says, it's a strange thing for me to do. It's a very surreal experience to go to Pizza Express in Woking.
But, oh man, that is crazy stuff, because, if somebody were to ask me where I was on a specific day last month, I would have to go through my calendar and stuff like that and see if I made any notes of it, because I wouldn't know. I'd be like, oh, I know what I would say. I'd be right on him. Next to him, that's where I was.
And I have no idea. Well, let's go ahead and shut this down.
Alrighty.
This year, Epstein was arrested on charges of sex trafficking and abusing dozens of underage girls. One of Epstein's accusers, Virginia Roberts, has made allegations against you. She was very specific about that night. She described dancing with you and you profusely sweating, and that she went on to have possibly.
There's a slight problem with the sweating, because I have a peculiar medical condition, which is that I don't sweat, or I didn't sweat at the time, and that was yes, I didn't sweat at the time because I had suffered what I would describe as an overdose of adrenaline in the Falklands War when I was shot at. And I simply, it was almost impossible for me to sweat. On that particular day that we now understand is the date, which is the 10th of March, I was at home. I was with the children. I'd taken Beatrice to a Pizza Express in Woking.
Why would you remember that so specifically? Why would you remember a Pizza Express birthday and being at home?
Because going to Pizza Express in Woking is an unusual thing for me to do. A very unusual thing for me to do. I've only been through Woking a couple of times, and I remember it weirdly distinctly. As soon as somebody reminded me of it, I went, oh yes, I remember that.
Wow. Oh, that is insane.
Pizza Express.
Pizza Express. Oh, I'm sure. I remember now. I was at Pizza Express.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Also, I can't sweat. Because I haven't.
He's sweating. Like, he says he can't sweat, but in the video he's sweating, so then
he was sweating
says,
profusely. So
I didn't sweat at the time.
I couldn't sweat at the time. Because I had an overdose of adrenaline?
During the Falklands War, or what was it?
Falklands.
Oh. Well, that's insane. Because, I have had
Is he for real? Yeah, he's for real.
I have had many experiences where I had what could be described as an overdose of adrenaline, and it did not stop me from sweating later. My goodness.
I'm pretty sure that same miner that said he was sweating is the one he paid £3 million to silence. And the thing about royals is that they don't make money. That's British taxpayer money.
Well.
So yes, our son is a chip off of us. He is also a true crime YouTuber, and he's got a whole bunch of different stuff that he follows, and he's very entertaining and interesting to us, We love hearing what he has to say. We hope you guys enjoy that too, because the three of us together are another day in the car. And we did drag him along with us all through the Suzanne case and, many other cases as well. A long time ago when we went and visited the wall in Broomfield, and I referred to somebody as being Mr. Ugg Boots because you could see his feet on top of the wall as we were showing how narrow the wall was. He's Mr. Ugg Boots.
Chip.
Yep.
From Chris Griffin.
Chip. I thought it was Chip from like
Mrs. Potts?
I guess. Yeah.
Ever
No.
saw Chip?
Chip.
Or Chip off the old
Homer's
wall?
weird tumor thing?
Oh, was it Homer?
Not Homer.
No, Peter Griffin.
Peter.
Seth MacFarlane's Homer.
Uh-huh.
I don't know why I said Homer.
Uh-huh.
Yes, we have drug him with us on all of our true crime drives. We have always been together on all those drives. It's been all of us. Plus other people came along as well.
And now that we're... Uh-oh.
Gunshots.
And
It's
maybe.
normal around here.
Mm.
Anyways. Just
Not real close. I
No.
was like at least a block away.
Yeah, it was a little further away.
Doesn't involve me.
Nope.
Yep. Nope,
They're not random drive-by shootings.
Yeah, we
They
don't
shoot
worry
at
about them
people.
because a drive-bys are not random. Since we don't have any affiliations or anything that would cause us to be the targets of one, we don't worry.
So if you're thinking you're hearing gunshots
Probably
while
are.
we're live,
you probably are, but we're not in
probably
danger.
are. See, we don't even freak out about it.
Yeah, mind our own business.
Of course.
I think the chat is delayed. Like you don't get to see what they say for a few seconds.
Yeah,
It's pretty much straight up. It's not delayed, I don't believe.
Maybe.
yeah.
No.
Anyway, yeah.
Well, they don't. We get to see immediately, but they don't get to see us immediately. Like there's a 10-second delay from what happens.
Well,
Like we say something, it takes like 10 seconds. for them
oh
to
yeah,
see
it does. I remember when I would mod and your mom would be doing live on the computer and I would be modding on the phone, there would be a delay.
What I
For sure.
don't get about the Broomfield wall is like, why were we interested in the 3-foot tall brick wall?
They said that other people had said that it could hold evidence.
It's bricks.
And where I think evidence may have been, like for instance, the SIM card out of Suzanne's phone, would be
Why would you put it inside the wall of your building instead of chucking it out the window?
Yeah, and that's what I think
That's
he did.
60,
I think he chucked it in that drainage culvert that is near the wall that's there. His car was parked, his truck was parked there near a place that drops right into that drainage tunnel, and then that drainage tunnel drains out into a pond across the road on private land behind
Why?
because their SIM card is missing.
What's the deal with that creek? The Berry Creek.
Out there by Suzanne's house?
Yeah, the Puma Path Creek.
Well, it's not very wide.
It's kind of deep though.
It's only like maybe 10 feet, 11, 12, 15 feet wide.
It's 10 feet wide and like 3 feet deep.
Although maybe that's where Bam went. Because remember, he did dispose of Bam because Barry straight up told the police when they asked him about the Bam.
Those other
and about his
creators went
trash
in the
runs,
culvert.
He said that, yeah. And, Barry was definitely disposing of things. And, back at the time, I was afraid maybe he was disposing of pieces of Suzanne or something.
Oh, my
now,
God.
I think it's other evidence, like maybe the clothing that she had on at the time, or maybe papers that would implicate him, like perhaps Suzanne, because she did the books. I'm thinking there might be more to it than just wanting her money, He might have also wanted to have her permanent silence. She did the book. She may have called him out on something that she discovered in the books, and so he may have disposed of some paperwork. He may have disposed of the BAM. He did tell law enforcement that when he was throwing things away and cleaning up the garage that weekend, that he threw the BAM out.
So that creek by Barry's house is Foss's Creek? No, Foose's Creek.
Foose's.
And it's only like a mile long before it flows into the Arkansas River. Like
that's where the pond is. That's Foose's Pond up there.
It's Foose's Pond up there, and then the creek flows past Barry's house, and then it goes into the Arkansas River, which is like a main body of water in Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
Like everybody goes there for trout fishing.
Kitty.
Like the Arkansas River, you would not believe how like popular it is. Like it's a main attraction.
Yeah, but there's a lot of people on the Arkansas down there where it's public.
You go to the Arkansas in the summer, there's just a
lot of.
You will not have the river to yourself if you want to go fishing.
No, and then there's tour, the raft, whitewater raft guys are all on it.
If you're dumping sus stuff in the Arkansas River, odds are some guy on a raft is gonna float right past and see you doing it.
It's a possibility.
Yeah, that is a possibility. So.
I bet he thought he could fool everyone. Yeah.
Yeah, he thought he could fool everyone, but he can't, and he definitely can't fool the general public with brains.
I think he wanted this whole thing swept under the rug.
That don't happen here, not in this town.
It's too small. There's no cops here.
Yeah.
That's what I think happened. Like the story in Mississippi.
And I think he did not take into consideration that
power of one small YouTube channel.
He didn't take into consideration YouTube. He didn't take into consideration that coming off of lockdown, a whole bunch of us would be having spring fever and be more than willing to step in and help out when we heard there was a missing woman. And
the truth is easy to remember.
Yeah. And Barry had a lot of lies.
I look forward to this trial coming up, guys.
Yeah.
Ow! I'm being attacked by kittens.
He was with us when we
Not
went to
plural.
when we went to Barry's original preliminary hearing as well, and he was right there taking notes with us, and was also able to just totally pick out a bunch of whopping lies on the behalf of Barry and his team. And it is going to be so cool to do it again with him as an adult this next time that Barry goes on trial.
Do you remember when we went looking for Gannon?
Yep.
Do you remember out there in the pasture?
Yeah.
When we parked there and we heard things.
Yeah, but we're not a supernatural channel.
Yeah, well.
So we won't really discuss that, but there was supernatural type stuff related to Gannon. And
that was our first true crime story on this channel.
Yeah, it was Gannon Stout, who was a few months younger than our son and lived not far from where we lived. And that was another murder that was covered up as being a missing person. Gannon went to go hang out with friends and never returned.
Crazy Letitia.
She crazy.
She is beyond crazy.
But not insane.
Prison.
Not insane.
Yep, from North Carolina.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah,
and she go to that bar in Colorado Springs,
T's Thought Spot.
the Cowboy Bar.
Every time we go past that place, we still say, well, there it is, T's Thought Spot. Shot. Yeah.
That song ought to be on the do not play list in a drinking establishment now.
Oh no.
And speaking of poor Gannon, there's a beautiful mural. One of these days I'll take a picture of it in downtown Springs of Gannon. And it is just a beautiful memorial to him. And yeah. Now we really should be calling it a night.
We should. We shouldn't be.
What was going on before I came here and did Epstein?
No, we were just winding it down until you showed up.
It was Epstein time.
Yep. There's always time for Epstein.
Mural is on Google Maps. If you can find it. I don't know what the streets are.
We should just take a picture of the mural and share it.
Maybe tomorrow.
Yeah.
Next time we're downtown. We do that sometimes.
So, good night, all. Take care. Be safe.
Yeah, it's really odd they found her. I didn't think they were ever going to find that lady.
Reminds me, Jeff Puckett said maybe the aliens got her.
And she's found just beyond the
alien observation
alien
lookout
observ-
point.
You can see it from the field where they found her.
That is
Yeah.
odd.
The field is known as the Boneyard.
Yes,
because there's
Karen,
human
thank you.
bones
Good night,
there.
everyone.
Yeah.
Thanks, Journey. We were just like talking a bunch.
Some Epstein stuff.
Yeah, we're just Friday night chit chat.
Show.
In the car.
Oh, what
Go.
has been going on with Show?
Yeah, what has been happening with
Where
Show?
is Show, by the way?
Yeah, I looked at those women that were behind Barry at the bond hearing, and unless she's changed her looks quite a lot, I don't think she was one of the supporters behind him.
Let's get some more likes in there. We sat here and bored you guys for a couple hours.
Yeah.
Almost 2 hours.
Yeah, and we'll probably be live again in a day or two, maybe tomorrow, because, we're in the car anyway.
Thanks for
Might as
joining
well.
us. Anything else you guys want to talk about? Any other stories you want us to look at?
Yep. Any ideas or anything, just put them in the comments or over in the what is the posts? Is it called posts?
In the community?
Yeah, the community. Any requests or anything, just pop them on in there, either in the chat or in the community or anything, and we'll see what we can do.
Oh. Show said Barry was controlling, apparently.
Ah.
Sounds like Barry.
Mm-hmm.
We better wind this down. Thank you, everyone, for showing up and listening to my wife and I.
Mm-hmm.
My son.
Yep. The Carr family.
Wisconsin. What do you have going on in Wisconsin? Journey. Anything famous that we should know about? I know Journey was on with us earlier, back when we were talking about Barry Morphew getting out this afternoon.
Yeah.
I didn't think he was going to get out, guys.
I did, because what would
If I would have understood
not
how
make my day?
if I would have understood how that bail system works, it's only going to need what, 10%?
Yeah.
The Carr family. Thank you, Sore Anna. Good night. Good night. Means this time.
Good night.